Now, the nation woke up this Friday to the news of President Tinubu's reconciliation of the feuding parties in Rivers State, where we learned of this last night. Now, the truce was brokered at a meeting with key actors in the lingering political crisis at the presidential villa on Thursday night. The talks brought together suspended Governor Fubara, his predecessor, and current Minister of the FCT, Wike. The suspended Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Martin Zamehule, and Majority Leader Major Jack. Also present were Rivers State Chairman of both the APC and the PDP, former governorship candidate Magnus Abe, federal lawmakers from Rivers, and senior government officials. Well, expectations are that the truce, the state of emergency in the state may soon be lifted to end months of tension and restore stability in the oil-rich state.
All agreed to work together with the governor, and the governor also agreed to work together with all of us who are members of the same political family. Yes, just like humans, you have a disagreement, and then you also have a time to also settle your disagreement, and that has been finally concluded today, and we have come to report to Mr. President that is what we have agreed. So for me, everything is over, and enjoy everybody who believe to work with us, to also work together with everybody. That there's no more acrimony, there's nothing to say we're disagreeing. We have all agreed on everything. So we thank God. For me, it's a day we have to thank Almighty God.
For me, it's very important that this day has come to be. What we need for the progress of Rivers State is peace. And by the special grace of God this night, with the help of Mr. President and the agreement of the leaders of the states, our leader, peace has returned in Rivers State. We'll do everything within our power to make sure that we sustain it this time around.
Now, joining us from Port Harcourt is Ann-Kio Briggs. She's Niger-Delta human rights activist and a member of the Rivers State Elders Forum. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight tonight. Good to see you. First, let's get your thoughts on this reconciliation. This peace deal, is it the kind of peace deal or reconciliation that you hoped for, especially when you consider the purported 4 conditions that Fubara had to agree to, for this reconciliation or peace deal to happen?
Good evening. The truth of the matter is that this is not the first time that the president has come into the political crisis in Rivers State. So that, for me, is a caution. Number 2, the fact that we don't actually have the content of what has been agreed to, we cannot speculate. The issue of Rivers State is too huge and too critical to Nigeria as a nation for us to leave it to speculation. And that means that the governor of Rivers State, Sir Similaye Fubara, and the FCT minister have to realize that the development and the future and the people of Rivers State is not about a political family. It is not about a godfather and a godson. It is about the people of Rivers State. And if it is about the people of Rivers State, then the people of Rivers State should be made aware of what they have agreed to. Because if it is not in the interest of Rivers State, the development of Rivers State, the security of Rivers State, and if it is only about who is going to win election in Rivers State in 2027 and who cannot run or who can run for the governorship of Rivers State, then I'm afraid that this also will crash at some point, because the people of Rivers State will have the last say. I believe that it is about time that the president truly listens to the people of Rivers State. At no time has the president made this about the people of Rivers State. The president has made it about a political issue, about a political family that he, the president, does not belong to. The president is the leader of the APC. And this crisis in Rivers State, this political crisis in Rivers State, is about the PDP. I heard the video, or I watched the video. I heard what the FCT minister said, that peace has returned to Rivers State. It is the peace of a graveyard. As long as the people of Rivers State are not aware of what both himself and the elected governor have agreed to, this is very critical. And the fact that the governor have recognized by his own speech that the leaders of Rivers State, the people that attended the meeting with the president of Nigeria yesterday, are not the only leaders of Rivers State. There are some leaders of the PDP political party. So really, the people of Rivers State have been thrown under the bus once again by the attempt of the president in the desire, if you like, to make sure that Rivers State is captured by a handful of both Rivers sons and daughters. But in this case, I saw no woman in that picture. If you look at the picture that we all saw this morning, you can see very clearly that there is something very seriously unacceptable about the capture of the picture. You saw a governor of a state that has been suspended all by himself, and then you saw the gladiators that he has been fighting, some of the gladiators that have actually thrown Rivers State under the bus because of their political and power interest in Rivers State and in the PDP party as a whole and in Nigeria. For me, as a daughter of Rivers State, that is a warning sign that if anybody thinks and believes that because of the picturing we saw yesterday, that everything is okay in Rivers State and everything has gone back to normal. No, all it has done is that it has gone back to where it was before the crisis started in Rivers State. And really, Rivers State people should and will have the last say on what will happen in Rivers State.
Very well said, Ann-Kio Briggs. You've covered a lot of grounds, but I just wanted to ask you, because it is said that in politics there are no permanent enemies or permanent friends, but just permanent interests. Do you think that this episode has taught any lessons either for the political elite or even the Rivers people you champion for tonight? I mean, given the power of hindsight, one has to ask, was it worth it? Why did you have to go through all of this as a state in the first instance? And should the governor take some of the blame? Because you seem to be blaming the president a lot in all of this. And in the past, you've also highlighted the role of the FCT minister. How about the governor? Should he take some blame?
Well, you see, the governor, to a very large extent, in my opinion, knowing some of the things that I know as a daughter of Rivers State, and knowing what had transpired quietly before the explosion of the crisis in Rivers State, I would say no. But looking at it today, looking back from where we have come in 2003 October, and coming all the way up to like almost 1.5 years, literally into we're into the second tenure of what should have been the second, a second year of his first tenure. So for us to feel tonight that since yesterday, you won't believe the amount of calls that I have received and the feelings that people are expressing. And the feelings is that they have been thrown under the bus. Now, when it comes to the governor, you see, this is why I have always advocated that I see no need, no reason for Nigeria to continue to have this system of governance where there is a godfather. What do we mean by political godfather? If you have been fortunate to run a second tenure in a 4-year tenure and you can't go anymore, you should just move on. If you have anything to offer, the person or people that need what you have to offer will come to you. But to think that it is a right, whether you're a president or a governor of a state, for you to think that because you have governed the state, that therefore you have a right to continue to have a say when you are no longer the governor in the name of structure is unacceptable. And Rivers people are today a very critical example of that to all Nigerians. And the thing is that what has happened in Rivers State will happen to other states. Look at the way the sole administrator was appointed, and he already was in Rivers State in the government house before he was even sworn in. Now, that shows you that something is fundamentally wrong with the things we accept as government. And it is only the people, it is only you and I, and in this instance, the people of Rivers State. If the people of Rivers State decide to blame the governor, I can assure you that we will not shy away from blaming the governor. But right now, we are calling on the governor of Rivers State, Sasemela Fubara, to speak to the people of Rivers State. He is the governor we elected, and therefore we are holding him responsible for information. We're not even holding Wike responsible for information. He's not our governor. So we are holding him responsible for give us information that will give us the opportunity to make the right decision on our own behalf. When it comes to blaming him, we will blame him when the time comes. But for now, we want to hear what the terms of what is going to bring the peace that they are claiming is coming to Rivers State. How is that peace going to come? And how is it? Right. I won't even go into the speculation at all. I refuse to indulge in it because it could be wrong. Until we are told what, until we are told officially what has been agreed and what has been disagreed, I personally will not make a comment on that. But I will make this comment, which is that the governance of Rivers State is by what we call upland and riverine dichotomy. Upland and riverine dichotomy means that the upland governs for 8 years and for 2 tenure, hopefully, of 4 years, which the FCT minister did of 8 years, and his kinsman, the former governor before him, Rotimi Amechi, did, and then the governor before Rotimi, Sir Peter Odili, who is not an Ikwere man, but is an upland man, also did 8 years. So that's a combination of 24 years. Right. And now we have a governor from the riverine area that had problems from the moment, literally, he was sworn in.
Okay. Well, we'll really have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Ann-Kio Briggs. And it's instructive, the point you make there. No female representation in that reconciliation. Well, we'll have to leave it there. Ann-Kio Briggs joining us on Newsnight tonight.